No matter how you define hygiene, it's just a simple way to keep yourself and your environment clean. That's the summary of it. Now, there is something that is trending in African society that we have not taken note of, or we have accepted it as a norm in our society, or we are not aware because of our busy schedule, or because of we are being carried away. You know, a lot of times they do always say, if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in a writing, and that thing, a black man will never discover it. But it's not true, because gone are those days that you hide something from a black man in a book. There is something I quickly want to say. It's regarding the issue of infection. Infection has now become a norm in our society. Some people have even accepted it that all women have infection. Some people will tell you that, and who talk you come out, now then they know. Some people have told you that infection is a normal thing. When you have it, just go and treat it. Everybody have it. Now, the truth be told, there is one common thing that I feel it causes female or feminine infections easily. Right? Now, when you go to the market, when you get your cream, a good standard quality cream, there is an inscription that they always write on it. Either they circle it, or they will bracket it. They will write it in a bold letter, so that it will be obvious for you to see. And what is that? When you get a cream, there is always a place where they will write, for external use only. Or they will say, keep out of children's reach. Do you know the reason why? Because when children get to it, probably because it's jelly in nature, they will want to test it. They want to eat it. And that cream is for external use only. It's not supposed to go into your system. It's not supposed to go into your body. Now, how does this relate to infection and hygiene? Let me explain. A lot of men today, the reason why infection was not as common in 90s as these days is for one reason. For the fact that our parents were not formally educated. They were not graduates of medicine, they were not graduates of engineering, they were not graduates of science, and the rest of them. But there were things that they understand with common sense, which is not actually common. And what is that? When our parents bathe in the evening, most especially our fathers, they don't rub cream. Why? Because many a time they will feel the weather might be hot. Sometimes they will feel it's not necessary. Sometimes they will feel creamy at night. Is it really necessary? Right? But it actually helped our mothers then from getting infections that is as common as these days in our generation, where we even have millions of graduates. Why do the manufacturers of this cream write for external use only? Because there are some elements or some substance in that cream that are not supposed to go into our system. And when our fathers or our male folks use these creams and they want to, they want to do what do? That hand that they use in rubbing cream that is supposed to be for external use only, they take it into the female genital, invariably sending some particles of that cream into the female body. What do you think it will happen? It may not cause permanent damage, but it will cause a reaction that may be called infection at the later on. A lot of times, some men that love rubbing cream at night, if you have a partner that love rubbing cream at night, after bathing in the evening, you want to go to bed, they always like rubbing cream, rubbing powder, rubbing hair cream. You know, after these things, tell him to go and wash his hand, because nobody can predict the moment when, you know, congeal want to happen. Because if he or she, if he sends those particles of that cream into the genital, a reaction is going to happen. Infection, contamination is going to happen, right? This is a primary hygiene that's supposed to exist between couples. As simple as this thing can save a couple from constantly treating infection, because these are some of the practices that couples are supposed to strictly practice without laziness. And some of all these girls that are always treating infection constantly, a lot of times you will see some girls buying creams, buying different lubricants, buying this, buying that, without checking the labels on those things. There are some things that the manufacturer wrote there that you are not supposed to use for internal purpose. Most especially these girls that use creams as lubricants. Creams are not supposed to go into your female genital. As a man, you are not supposed to use cream because your girl no gree wet. You are not supposed to use cream to rub your bola and put it into the genital, because it will cause infection. Because our fathers were never used to rubbing cream to bed, they were never used to rubbing hair cream to bed, they were never used to rubbing powder to bed. Our mothers were safe from a lot of infection. These are the things that a lot of Nigeria doctors will not tell you. A lot of medical practitioners will not tell you, because antibiotics now, infection drugs are very expensive, infection treatment are very expensive, but the way you will prevent it, they won't tell you. This is one bad thing about black man. They rather be using your head to make money than to tell you the bitter truth. So for couples or for people that are in a relationship, if you can practice this, you will save your partner from constantly treating infection. Sometimes some mates will tell you it's because she's cheating. Sometimes they will tell you it's because of one thing. It's because of toilet. It's a very big lie. We know that sometimes these things can happen, but there are some faithful partners that are still treating infection constantly because of knowing this common hygiene.